corruption and manipulation, a story of power and greed, a story of money in politics.
This drawing is inaccurate!
Yeah, we're not puppets!
Well, at least I'm not a puppet!
Gentlemen, please. You're being very rude. Just listen to the story. Today, we're going to talk about Monsanto.
We're going to be saying Monsanto a lot. So we can't chant every time. But fuck Monsanto! In the 2012 elections...
And we can boo! Boo every time we say Monsanto.
Continuing with the story, in the 2012 elections, Monsanto spent nearly $6 million in lobbying and over $500,000 in campaign contributions. Also, when California voted on Proposition 37, a law that would have required the labeling of GMOs or genetically modified organisms, Monsanto spent over $7 million on the No on 37 campaign. And guess what? The bill didn't pass. But wait, it doesn't end there. Money isn't the only way corporations have power in government.
Many individuals who have held top positions in Monsanto have also held top positions in government agencies, such as the Food and Drug Administration, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Supreme Court, and even the CIA and FBI. Indeed, there is a revolving door between our government and Monsanto. For example, Republican Linda Fisher started in government as an assistant administrator at the EPA. She was then hired as vice president of government affairs at Monsanto. From 1995 to 2000, then she became deputy administrator at the EPA in 2001. After Democratic Senator Dennis DiCocchini left the government, he then started a law firm and served as legal counsel for Monsanto. Conservative Justice Clarence Thomas was an attorney for Monsanto in the 1970s. Sometimes the revolving door goes around and around and around. Michael Taylor was an assistant to the Food and Drug Administration Commissioner before leaving government to work at a law firm that represented Monsanto. He then returned to government as the Deputy Commissioner for Policy to the FDA on food. Then he moved to the USDA, where he's administrator for the Food and Safety and Inspection Service. He then returned to Monsanto as Vice President of Public Policy. But wait, then he once again returned to government as Senior Advisor to the FDA Commissioner. Now, he's the Deputy Commissioner for Food at the FDA. Dozens and dozens of others have also been a part of this revolving door, going from government to corporation and back again. So, what are the results of this special relationship? Well,
As it stands, we have the fox guarding the henhouse. The companies that need to be regulated are the ones controlling the regulations and their enforcement. 1. Courts have given corporations the right to copyright the DNA of GMOs. Living organisms are now patentable. This has led to Monsanto filing lawsuits against hundreds of farmers for patent infringement just because their fields were contaminated by GMO pollen in the wind. That's fucked up. Two, Congress snuck the Monsanto Protection Act. into law. That's true. This law strips the federal courts of the right to halt the sale and planting of GMO crops. 3, huge agribusiness corporations write farm regulations that push small farms out of business. And 4, all of the GMO crops that Monsanto has brought to the USDA, all of them have been approved, even though other countries have banned these products. No surprise there. Who wants to upset their future boss?
Shit's fucked up. Shit's fucked up and bullshit. It's insanity, man. That's what it is.
But look, that fox looks so trustworthy.
I know, that fox looks so cute.
I mean, how bad could it be?
Well, let's take a look and see what we get. For one, we don't know what's in our food. Almost every processed food you can find includes some GMOs, genetically modified ingredients. But in the US, we have no labels to let us know that. 2, we get increased herbicide and pesticide use, thanks to GMO crops that are custom made to survive being drenched in poisons. And 3, what do farmers, especially small farmers, get? Well, they get sued and forced out of business by Monsanto. So, what do we do? What can we do?
Well, we can find alternatives and opt out of Monsanto's foodopoly. You can start with your local farmers market. In fact, there's a great farmers market in Union Square that happens on Wednesdays and other ones around the city.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Awesome. Hopefully every day of the week soon. There are also other green markets, food co-ops, and community-supported agriculture all over New York City. There are also apps for your smartphone, such as Boycott, that will tell you if any given item in the grocery store contains GMOs. And we're going to teach you a quick song to also fight Monsanto. Mic check.
Mic check.
Oh, when food is free.
When food is free
Of GMOs.
of GMOs.
When food is free
Of GMOs.
to be a cucumber. When food is free
Of GMOs.
Everybody, one more time. When food is free
Of GMOs. Food is free of GMOs. Oh, I want to be a cucumber. When food is free of GMOs.
When Monsanto closes its doors. When Monsanto
Close its doors. I want to be a cucumber. When Monsanto closes its doors. Pesticide. When it's free of pesticide. Oh, how I want to be a cucumber. When food is free of pesticide.
¡Bacalao con Monsanto!
Who's pork?
Just in case I can.
I am Bradley Manning.
I'm Bradley Manning. I am Bradley Manning.
I am Bradley Manning.
I am Bradley Manning. I am Bradley Manning.
I am Bradley Manning.
I am Bradley Manning.
I am Bradley Manning.
Alright, we wanted to.
I am Bradley Manning.
We are Bradley Manning. He's Bradley Manning.
We are Bradley Manning.
Alright, so we wanted to acknowledge the fact that Bradley Manning's
We wanted to acknowledge
the fact that Bradley Manning, his trial is starting on Monday,
his trial is starting on Monday,
and many of our comrades
and many of our comrades
are at Fort Meade today
are at Fort Meade today
to support him
to support him
and the heroic actions that he took
and the heroic actions that he took
to make sure that we had the right to know
to make sure we had the right to know
what was being done in our name.
what was being done in our name.
So I'm going to read a short portion of his statement
So I'm going to read a short portion of his statement
that he wrote
that he wrote
while he was in a detention facility,
while he was in a detention facility,
which is where he's still being held,
where he's still being held,
in spite of the fact that his trial hasn't even started yet.
in spite of the fact that his trial hasn't even started yet.
I wrote this statement in the confinement facility.
I wrote this statement in the confinement facility.
I enlisted with the hope
I enlisted with the hope
of obtaining both real-world experience
of obtaining both real-world experience
and earning benefits under the GI Bill for college opportunities.
and earning benefits under the GI Bill for college opportunities.
I believe and still believe
I believe and still believe
that the Iraq and Afghanistan war logs are two of the most significant documents of our time.
that the Iraq and Afghanistan war logs are two of the most significant documents of our time.
I felt that we were risking so much for people
I felt that we were risking so much for people
that seemed unwilling to cooperate with us,
that seemed unwilling to cooperate with us,
leading to frustration and anger on both sides.
leading to frustration and anger on both sides.
I began to become depressed
I began to become depressed.
with the situation that we found ourselves increasingly mired in
We found ourselves increasingly mired in,
year after year.
year after year.
I believe
I believe
that if the general public,
that if the general public,
especially the American public,
especially the American public,
had access to the information,
had access to the information,
this could spark a domestic debate
this could spark a domestic debate
on the role of the military
on the role of the military
and our foreign policy in general
and our foreign policy in general,
as it related to Iraq and Afghanistan.
as it relates to Iraq and Afghanistan.
I wanted the American public to know
I wanted the American public to know
that not everyone in Iraq and Afghanistan
that not everyone in Iraq and Afghanistan
are targets that need to be neutralized,
are targets that need to be neutralized,
but rather people
but rather people
who are struggling to live
who are struggling to live
in the pressure cooker environment
in the pressure cooker environment
of what we call asymmetric warfare.
of what we call asymmetric warfare.
No one associated with the WikiLeaks organization
No one associated with the WikiLeaks organization
pressured me into giving information.
pressured me into giving information.
The decisions that I made
The decisions that I made
to send documents and information
to send documents and information
to the WikiLeaks organization
to the WikiLeaks organization
were my own decisions,
were my own decisions,
and I take full responsibility for my actions.
and I take full responsibility for my actions.
Manning's statement continues from there, and I encourage you all to read it.
Manning's statement continues from there, and I encourage you all to read it.
Thank you, and free Bradley Manning.
Thank you, and free Bradley Manning.
Are you Bradley Manning now?